Finally, let's talk about what everybody wants to hear, cryptocurrencies. So today we're talking about what cryptocurrencies are. Cryptocurrencies are digital currencies that use or that are created using special technology called cryptography. And this is a certain way of programming that we're not going to go into. However, to put simply, cryptocurrencies are digital currencies that do not work or do not need an intermediary to manage its financial records. They work independent, without control, and without the interference of any government or intermediary. Now we have different types of cryptocurrencies. I'm very sure you've heard so many of them, or you've heard a few. But let's start from the king cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the very first cryptocurrency created in the year 2009. Now, every other cryptocurrency that is not Bitcoin is referred to as altcoins. And altcoins is a short form for alternative coins. And they were created as an alternative to Bitcoin to create solutions that Bitcoin in itself, during its creation, was not able to solve. So things like speed, things like faster transaction time, and many other features are being incorporated into these various other cryptocurrencies that make them a little bit, or in some kind of way, better than Bitcoin. Now, there are many kinds of altcoins, and every single cryptocurrency, whether Bitcoin or these altcoins, will require a form of consensus algorithm. Consensus algorithm is a mechanism required by a cryptocurrency to update its financial record on its blockchain. We've talked about blockchain, so this should not be a problem anymore. A blockchain is a database, a digital database. So every cryptocurrency has its database. Bitcoin has its own database, which is the blockchain. Altcoins have their own database. Now, the consensus algorithm or the consensus mechanism is a process in which a network or a cryptocurrency updates financial records on its database. Now, there are a few kinds of consensus algorithm. We have the proof of work, we have the proof of stake, we have the delegated proof of stake. Many other projects come out with different variants to solve this problem that works for them. I think Solana uses proof of history. Recently, I've heard of proof of attention, and there are so many unique other consensus algorithms. However, let's look at the two major consensus algorithms, which is proof of work and proof of stake. In proof of work, participants who are both validators or miners especially, contribute computational power, computational energy to solve some puzzles, and in the fastest person gets this puzzle solved is able to mine the first block. And then after that, transactions are being updated on the blockchain and they become irreversible. So the whole concept here is that participants put in a certain level of work to find or solve this puzzle, and then the first participant to do this has proof of work, and they are the person who gets to earn the block reward. They are the person responsible for creating the first block, and then all transactions that happen within the period in which that block is created is stored in that block. This is proof of work. In proof of stake, participants are not rewarded based on how fast they solve puzzle or their efforts to the network or contribution to the network. However, in proof of stake, participants are required to hold large amounts of the cryptocurrency and are to stake it for a period. It could be 1 year, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. Now, the rewards that are being given to participants are being distributed based on the size of their stake. So the larger stakers tend to get most of the rewards, while the smaller stakers tend to get little rewards. Let's note, in every blockchain, there are three major things. There is security, there is scalability, and there is speed. So, despite all of these things, the consensus algorithm involves projects or cryptocurrencies that will still need to maintain security, scalability, and speed. Now, for Bitcoin, Bitcoin uses the proof of work consensus algorithm. That means miners on the Bitcoin network use their computational power to solve this puzzle, and the fastest miner to solve this puzzle gets Bitcoin, some amount of Bitcoins, as rewards. For Ethereum was using proof of work. They recently migrated, I think 2 or 3 years ago, to proof of stake. Now, large holders that stake Ethereum get the network rewards.